Trace Sport, brought to you by Nokia Asha smartphones. Do it freestyle.
I grew up in Cape Town, which is an awesome playground. It gave me the opportunity to do so many cool sports. The cliffs, the mountains, the sea. It was awesome for me, and I went to a school where they encouraged us to try new things. Did flying trapeze instead of normal sports at school, and that got me into acrobatics, and that got me into stunts in the movie industry. Street luge was another one on the side, which was awesome, got me lots of places. I won the World Championships in 2004, and I went back again in 2008 to win the World Series, and that was a great highlight for me to be able to win all those events. I managed to win a lot. It was awesome. You're not only there just to race and win. It's a lot more of the party and the lifestyle and the awesome people to skate with. It's just actually an opportunity to just skate with the best riders from around the world and play with them in the heats. And yeah, a lot of mind games, a lot of who's faster, who thinks they're the fastest. It's great to win. And to win the World Series for me was, I think, the highlight. I get quite a big kick out of trying new things, especially when it's a new overlapping thing, like involving the acrobatics into skydiving. I had the opportunity to go to lots of circus training, a circus school, magic school, whatever, whilst doing my normal schooling. I definitely was always encouraged to try new things and try things that other people hadn't tried before. And then got into trying things that people said was dangerous and I shouldn't do, whatever. I kind of got a kick off doing it and doing it safely. I mean, finding a way to do something that people said you couldn't do and showing them that, yes, I can do it and I can do it safely. Doing something which I believe is possible, I think is possible, and I just need to convince myself, especially when I'm standing on the edge of the cliff, about to jump. It's like, are you sure you can do this?
Fuck me!
And convincing myself, yes, I can do it, and then going for it. And once I've done it, and especially when it's the first time I've done it, like the first time the cliff's been jumped, or the first time I've done it, it's amazing. It's hands shaking, super duper duper alive. I've tried the wingsuits now for a bit. Loving that. It allows you to fly away from the object and open safely. And now my goal for the future is to push that a bit further, get bigger wings. The technology is advancing so well in the sport now. There's awesome wings that you can get. And that allows you to, instead of just flying away from the object and open safely, you can fly along the edge of objects and close to objects and right next to the ground, fly a couple of meters above the ground, and then just shoot off the edge of a cliff, which gives you enough height to open your parachute. I would think something's dangerous if you don't know what your limits are, if you're pushing it too hard. Speed to me seems to be what keeps the different sports safe. Maximize your speed, the more control you've got, more control it gives you. With base jumping, it's the force of the wind against you. If you're falling for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you're not falling fast enough to use the speed of the wind to fly with. But if you fall for like 8, 10 seconds, then you're at maximum speed, say 200 kilometers an hour. You got a 200 kilometer an hour wind pushing against you, which you can then manipulate to fly off and fly over ledges and fly away from the mountain. Street luge is the same thing. If you're going too slowly, your steering's all wobbly. But if you really maxing out over 100 k's an hour, the slightest movements you do has such a much cleaner line in the corners. And as you go into the corner, you pick a line and you just don't target fixate into anything that you could hit. You pick a line, you target fixate onto the cleanest out the corner. And then you get also super exit speed, which you can use again. Same with base jumping. If you have maximum speed and you don't stall out your flight, you can avoid cliffs and avoid trees and avoid obstacles that would otherwise be. But just, if you've got speed, you can use it. The most dangerous thing I've done, it's hard to say. In retrospect, often I look back and say, wow, I should maybe not have done that at that time. But it's hard to define exactly one moment that's the most dangerous. But where I generally feel like I have to control that, and when I'm doing super risky stuff, is when I'm jumping new sites and jumping new cliffs that no one's ever jumped before. Eventually, all the sports that I've done, from the base jumping to the climbing to the circus to the acrobatics, that became my career.
2, 1, action!
Thing that I've done where I felt the most dangerous is doing a high fall. I did one a while back, which is a 9-story high fall. I couldn't see where I was going, so you jump off and you don't know when you're going to impact, and if you're flipping upside down or flipping the wrong way around, you don't have any reference. You can't look at the horizon saying, okay, now I'm in a good right body position, now I'm in a bad body position. You just fall.
Action!
It's so the bag's gone or something. You just instantly panic, like, and you just got to keep calm in that. And then, yeah, it worked fine. Landed flat on my back, so it was all good. The thing I like about my career at the moment is that I'm being given the opportunity to go around the world and either perform in stunts and movies, or now I just got back from China. They flew me to China to open a new bridge that had been just finished in a village in central China, in the middle of nowhere. It's a huge bridge, 1,000 foot high.
I think we should have the traffic for a bit. I'll find you.
And normally it's illegal. You get busted by the cops if you jump it, and you always, especially when you go to a new country, you don't want to get into trouble in certain countries because the prisons aren't that cool. And this one, I got flown there, and they specifically paid me to jump off this bridge. It was awesome. Yeah. Did the same in Lebanon. They flew me there for a stunt to jump off a crane. Unfortunately, they didn't get permission, so I got arrested. It was a little bit of a tense moment there, but they got me out of the Lebanese jail soon enough, so it was all good. So I like to always try new things. It's good to be able to explore what's possible. If you don't try new things, if you're not pushing the limit, you're not going to know what's possible and what's safe to do. It's been cool with the paragliding and base jumping. I've been able to cross over between two very similar sports, but using the para basing and the base rig as a reserve actually makes it a lot safer. Or by trying it out, it's gonna get to the point where it does make it safer, because they normally use round reserves. And if your paraglider collapses and you have to throw your round reserve, that thing's got no steering, you just crash in, it's super unsafe. You can't steer away from cliffs or anything like that. Whereas with a base rig, you can fly it out away from everything and yeah, make a safer landing for sure. So it's good to try these new things and see how to make it safer.
Before you know it's gone for good, I should have told you when I could. I was too afraid to say what was on my mind. Now I'm looking backwards, trying to find a different time. Is this it? Is this how it ends? Is this it? Is this it for us? Don't make me run, baby, just give me another chance. I'm the biggest believer in things happening for a reason. I'm the biggest believer in things happening for a reason. I'm so good at you. I was too afraid to say what was on my mind. Now I'm looking backwards, trying to find a different time. Is this it? Is this how?
Cool, that was a success. It was really good. Kind of everything went wrong that could go wrong, because I've got the system so that when I cut away, I have to do a backflip first before I pitch to get in the right position. And I'd packed for a very low jump, so I had to pitch within 2 seconds, and my rotation was a bit slow. So a little bit of a bridle on the ankle, but still worked all good and safe. Threw the pilot chute out, and I had to throw it out within 2 seconds. I threw it out quite quickly. Got a little bit of wrap, but it opened up nicely, and yeah, good jump. My top 5 things, I think Italian food, love that. Base jumping for sure, street luge, keeping in touch with friends on Facebook, and Cape Town, 100%.
Play Sport, brought to you by Nokia Asha smartphones. Do it freestyle.